Welcome back to the Irish Daily News Show. We have a ton of stories to get through before the weekend. Today is Friday, the 26th of September, 2025. The first story we want to talk about today is from RT News, the propaganda scumbag mainstream media. This man is a fellow YouTuber by the name of Paul Nolan, and he was jailed today over online posts exposing asylum seekers, because he was basically exposing the human trafficking EU corruption human trafficking ring that they perform every single day, bringing in hundreds of thousands of people. We saw in the UK now, because the government of the UK are bringing in these small boats, they're letting in tons of illegal immigrants. Now the good citizens of the UK are losing their own freedom of something that the government are doing. It's absolutely bizarre stuff. It's all one big psyop. But it says here, a convicted criminal has become the first person to be jailed in a landmark case for online posts, which risks identifying asylum seekers in Ireland. Now, the irony in this is, right after they talk about how he's, identifying asylum seekers, yada, yada, etc., they expose everything about Paul Nolan. 36 years old, of Mount Eagle Square, Leopardstown, Dublin, stood outside the iPass Centre on St. John's House, High Street, Tallaght, on the 22nd and 26th of August 2024 and questioned teenage boys, a young woman, and 3 middle-aged men who were staying at the facility. Isn't that ironic that a man can't go around with his camera talking to people? It's pretty egregious that they would put him in jail for this. They put him in jail for 8 months, by the way. And right after they say that he's exposing asylum seekers, they expose him. They say what he had for breakfast. They say where he works. They ridicule him. They make him this holy show all over mainstream media. But luckily, we have people like myself and other people that expose RT too, for the frauds that they are, for the scumbags that they are, exposing people that are just trying to expose government corruption, basically. Nolan goaded applicants, saying, "In Ireland, you have no right to privacy," and posted videos of his interactions on his YouTube channel, which in public, I'm sure he meant to say, is true. You don't have a right to privacy if you're walking on the street, guys. If you're in your home, obviously I have the blinds drawn, you have the Venetian curtains drawn, then you do have a right to privacy in your own home. Of course, we know that, certain governments are listening through Apple devices. We know this for a fact. Pegasus is a spy software. Tons of different spy software. They're listening through our laptop, through your phone. Most of the time, they're watching you jerk off on your laptop camera, and then they're all laughing about it in their office. That's probably taking place right now as we speak. We know this to be a fact. The American government have talked about this. Probably taking place in Ireland as well. But you don't have a right to privacy if you're standing out in public. If you're in a restaurant, if you're in a establishment like a gym, or if you're in, a Tesco's or Dunnes Stores, you do not have a right to privacy. There is cameras on us the second you leave your house. I know a lot of people don't understand this. The second you leave your house in Ireland, no matter what, there is CCTV cameras on you 24/7, no matter what. Whether you go to the pub, whether you go to the club, there's cameras on you at all times. That means you have no privacy. You might have privacy in a bathroom stall, hopefully. I think some cameras actually point into the bathrooms in some pubs in Dublin and Galway, Cork. But apart from those places, you only have privacy in the bathroom, even that. But you don't have privacy as you walk down the road. So I'm not sure exactly what he was put in jail for here. I'm sure we'll read about it. The 4 clips revealed their faces and were captioned, "Time to document these people for ourselves. These men are so aggressive. If you're fleeing war, take your aggression here. Take your aggression there. Cheeky fella, these economic welfare scammers. I know what I'd do if Ireland went to war, pick up a weapon and fight." Nolan, a father of 3, questioned a man who said he was from Gaza about why he was here and not fighting in his own country. Okay, one clip featured the recording of the Irish Rovers by the Pogues and the Dubliners while showing some applicants heading back into the building. It also had a banner saying, "Faces we are after." Okay, so the Community Employment Scheme worker pleaded not guilty at Dublin City Court to engaging in threatening, insulting, and abusive words of behaviour under the Public Order Act. So he was put in jail for engaging in threatening and abusive words. That's pretty light, if you ask me. Now, obviously, I don't know if he's trying to say, like, I'm trying to fight you guys, but I didn't see anything there that was threatening. Okay, you can't threaten people in public. Like, if you say, I'm going to kill you, you can actually go to jail for that. That is 100% illegal. People have threatened me on the internet, okay, openly, all the time. And they have public profiles. I've seen them in person, and they did nothing, of course, because they're cowards, the little bitch-ass pussies. But they've openly threatened me, and I don't give a shit. Like, I'm not going to file a claim. I'm not going to go to the Gardaí unless someone actually is trying to kill you. Then you probably should. But, we handle our own business, me personally. But the thing is, like, I don't really understand. So he went to jail for basically threatening people. That's where he slipped up right there, okay? International protection applicants have the legal right to anonymity. Wow, okay? So, didn't know that. I didn't know that personally. I know that everyone has the right to anonymity in their house or whatever. But if you are walking in public, if you're recording, let's say if you're recording down from O'Connell Street, obviously you don't have the right to privacy in O'Connell Street. That's just not, it just can't simply be the case, right? So they have the legal right to anonymity. So basically, you cannot question refugee people or international protection applicants, okay? He also denied 4 counts under Section 26 of the International Protection Act 2015, which states that without the consent, it is an offence to publish in written publication available to the public or broadcast, or cause to be so published or broadcast, information likely to lead members of the public to identify a person as an applicant. Oh, okay, so he threatened them, supposedly. I mean, this is all what the RT is saying. This all is in court. Now, what actually happened is up for debate, okay? So he says that he threatened them and he also exposed their faces on public forums. Judge John Hughes noted that this was the first time a prosecution has been brought for this offence, which is punishable by a 12-month sentence. He was given a 10-month sentence, but had the final 3 months suspended on condition that he stay under supervised probation, completes an anger management counseling course, and remains away from IPAS facilities for 2 years. The video on YouTube also has to be taken down. So he's a fellow YouTuber, and there's a lot of different fellow YouTubers that do audits and stuff like that. They audit the Gardaí, which is great to see, because in my personal opinion, by auditing the Gardaí, they just film them in public. That's not really auditing. There's never an audit ever on the Gardaí. As much as people love to watch those YouTube videos auditing the Gardaí, there's no real audit on the Gardaí because they'd have to record them day to day. They'd have to have cameras on them 24/7 as they conduct business, which isn't really the case, and that doesn't really happen. So his videos featured 3 middle-aged men, including one whose teenage sons, both minors, have been filmed and questioned by Nolan, along with another 15-year-old boy and his 22-year-old sister. Judge Hughes described his conduct as repeated, premeditated, and targeted. He slated the accused, saying he used a tissue of lies wrapped in a shroud of pseudo-citizen journalism. So basically anyone that records anyone is a pseudo-journalist. Like, I'm a pseudo-journalist, if that's for all intents and purposes. I'm a citizen journalist for sure. Don't know what I call myself, a pseudo-journalist. What does it now take to be a journalist? Do you have to have a degree? I have a degree in business, as do many, many people. It's not really that special. Sentencing, he brandished his conduct as disgraceful, glorious display of rudeness, hyena-like behavior. I don't know what the hell that is. And ignorance of the people involved. Nolan attempted to convince the court that in his role as an untrained citizen journalist, he had learned about a demonstration outside the building and went to investigate for his YouTube channel. He knew the building had previously been used by revenue, and undocumented, unvetted men of military age had moved in. However, he maintained that it was unaware it was an IPAS center. He claimed that he learned from a comment by Taoiseach Micheál Martin from RT News that 80% of asylum seekers were economic migrants. Oh, wow. Okay, so Taoiseach Micheál Martin said that 80% of asylum seekers are economic migrants, which 100%. I mean, that's 100% has to be true, guys. That's definitely true. Witnesses from Palestine and Jordan gave evidence. So 2 men. I've actually been to Jordan multiple times when I was younger. Jordan is not dangerous. Beautiful place. The Dead Sea, I believe. Beautiful place. Palestine, obviously not as nice as Jordan. But Jordan is a pretty much first world developed country. Like, it's beautiful. Anyone can go there. on holidays. So I'm not really sure why asylum seekers are coming from Jordan. Doesn't really make much sense to me. They have an air force. They have a beautiful military. They actually fought against ISIS in Jordan. Like, they're actually a developed country. So not sure why people, like I said, would be coming from these countries. Just seems a bit odd. Video evidence showed one of them being threatened by Nolan, who said he would break his nose because the teen had elbowed him out of his way. Okay, so like I said, you can't threaten people. That is against the law. But like the teenager guy hit him first. I mean, he pushed him, which, I mean, it just seems very tenuous. That just seems feels like he hit him already, you know, honestly. He told an applicant approaching the center, "I already got your face. No need to put your hand up," and mimicked their accents and narrated in his voice saying, "These are dangerous people we have walking the streets of Tala." Definitely, in my opinion, I think that we've seen many, many videos of people that have, you know, gone crazy, that aren't ethnically Irish, let's just say. You know, a lot of people that aren't from Ireland absolutely commit crime. Of course, we have our own criminals that are psychopaths as well. Crazy crackpots. Normally, it's mostly gangs, but definitely we've seen people that, you know, are not from Ireland that commit heinous crimes. Nolan had already 47 previous convictions, including public order charges, 19 for drug offenses, and has also been jailed previously for 6 months for dangerous driving. You know, as Christians, we forgive people. And secondly, you know, that's first of all. Secondly, he's not the worst guy in the world. This guy isn't the devil because he has 47 prior convictions. I would say there's a lot worse people up in Dáil Éireann. Way worse people, in my personal opinion. They destroy the country and they get away scot-free. So this guy, you know, has a few convictions, whatever. It just seems outrageous to completely disregard his journalism, which, you know, seems to me like is just recording people. But obviously, you know, you can't threaten people. The reason he went to jail for this is just because he threatened people. But like I said, you are allowed to record people in public, I'm pretty sure, but not iPass residents because they have their own, it's against the law to record iPass residents. But how does that come to play? Because if you're walking down O'Connell Street and you're recording yourself and they happen to be in the back of a video, how do you then monitor that? So I don't know how the hell that happens, but it seems very, very crazy. Cross-examined by prosecution counsellor Oisin Larkin BL, he claimed he did not know what the building was when he returned to the centre days later to continue filming people. So yeah, he thought that basically he was filming in public, right? Mr. Clark, in his closing speech, described Nolan's version as garbled, self-serving, and he contradicted himself. And the barrister added that the accused had no credibility. So the barrister is a state prosecutor, I'm pretty sure. So the state was prosecuting. Oisin Clark is this barrister. And he was the one that was basically prosecuting. The DPP, right, was prosecuting Nolan right here. Wow, this is mad stuff. This is absolutely mad stuff. The defense pleaded with the court to acquit because it could not be established that anyone in the center risked being identified. However, the judge held that the evidence was sufficient to convict. So yeah, he basically throwing it up on YouTube, talking about certain people and that kind of thing. Yeah, that's basically why he got convicted. Crazy. This is absolutely madness. So, Gardaí Inspector Nigel McInnaugh, Nigel McInnaugh, headed the investigation, which led to the examination of the phone videos and bank records that linked to the accused YouTube account. Detective David Sheehan identified Nolan from CCTV evidence. Man, that's crazy. So that's crazy. So basically, he put up a video online and he supposedly threatened iPass residents and exposed who they are. Those are the two things that he got convicted of. Exposing people under Section 26 of the International Protection Act, which states without consent it is an offence to publish or written for the public, members of the public to identify a person as an applicant. Jesus, that's wild. That's absolutely wild, guys. So yeah, they basically are anonymous. You can't record iPass residents. You can't record people. Well, how the hell did you even know that they're iPass residents? Oh, because they were standing outside the iPass center, but he didn't know that it was an iPass center. Oh man, that's absolutely crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Shout out to all the fellow YouTubers in Ireland that do great work. So now it's basically illegal to publish anyone that's coming from overseas, even if they could be dangerous. Who knows? I mean, it's just absolutely, it's all tied up in crazy stuff. So he was given a 10-month sentence and the final 3 months suspended. Wow. Unbelievable stuff. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on that, guys. If you guys enjoyed that video, hit the join link underneath the video to become a member. For just €3 a month can help support me, push back into mainstream media, because you'll never hear this take on mainstream media. I just think it's crazy, guys. I just think it's egregious. Like, honestly, I just think that putting people in jail for, I mean, threatening, I mean, the thing is, okay, threatening is different, but we don't know for certain that he was threatening people because he doesn't have it on camera. Okay, he wasn't threatening people on camera, right? That's just what the people giving evidence said. So there's no actually, it's only hearsay evidence. Yeah, I don't know, it's a bit tenuous there. I don't know, guys, a bit crazy stuff to be putting people in jail for just literally recording people. I don't know, crazy stuff. But yeah, the first of its kind in Ireland, and many more to come, I'm sure. I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next one, guys. Peace.